And of course, we're working to end the horrible killing in Ukraine, a war that should never have happened and would have never happened if I were president. That was not going to happen. I used to speak to Vladimir Putin about Ukraine, and it was the apple of his eye, but he would never have ever done it. Said, you can't do that, Vladimir. As part of this historic record of major peace initiatives, today we're announcing more details regarding the Board of Peace, so important. This board has the chance to be one of the most consequential bodies ever created, and it's my enormous honor to serve as its chairman. I was very honored when they asked me to do it. We had an idea to do it, and then they came. They said, "You be the chairman." And but I take it very seriously. We have a great group of people and incredible young people that are leading it from within. It's running beautifully, started already, and every country, just about every country, wants to be a part of it. And we just sent out the letters a couple of days ago, and these are just the countries that are here. They happen to be in Davos, so we said we'd be honored if you wanted to join us up on the stage. And it's really great. They're friends of mine, I think. Let me see. Yeah, every one of them is a friend of mine. A couple, let's see, a couple I like, a couple I don't like. No, I like, actually, this group, I like every single one of them. Can you believe it? Usually I have about 2 or 3 that I can't stand. Usually I have 2 or 3 that I don't like. I don't find them up here. I like every one of these people. No, they're great people. They're great leaders. And the Board of Peace is composed of leaders, the top leaders in the world, actually.
You may have heard that we are willing to allocate $1 billion to this new body, the Board of Peace, first and foremost, to support the Palestinian people, to use these funds to reconstruct the Gaza Strip and solve Palestine's issues. I have already said that these will come from the funds frozen in the United States back under the previous administration. I think this is quite possible. We have discussed such options with the U.S. administration before, and we are planning a meeting and talks on this topic in Moscow today.
President Donald Trump inaugurated his Board of Peace to lead efforts at maintaining a ceasefire in Israel's war with Hamas, insisting that everyone wants to be a part of the body that could eventually rival the United Nations, despite many U.S. allies opting not to participate. Amid this, a new and unexpected proposal is emerging from Moscow. Russian President Vladimir Putin says he is ready to discuss a controversial idea with U.S. officials, using Russia's frozen assets in the United States to secure a seat on President Donald Trump's new Board of Peace. The talks are expected to take place as American envoys arrive in Moscow, with Ukraine, Gaza, and global security dominating the agenda. Putin has stopped short of committing, but he has also stopped short of rejecting the offer. Instead, the Kremlin says it is reviewing the proposal and consulting Russia's strategic partners. At the center of the discussion is a $1 billion entry fee required for permanent membership in Trump's initiative. Speaking alongside Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, Putin said those funds could be redirected to support the Palestinian people, framing the move as humanitarian rather than political. The proposal directly clashes with President Trump's claim that Putin has already agreed to join the board.
Russian-Palestinian relations are deep-rooted and special in nature. Back in 1988, the Soviet Union recognized the state of Palestine, and we remain committed to this position to this day. Our approach to issues concerning Palestine and the Middle East settlement is principled rather than opportunistic. We believe that only the establishment and full functioning of the state of Palestine can lead to the final settlement of the Middle Eastern conflict. Our relations are developing today despite all the difficulties associated with the situation in the region. Naturally, in absolute terms, our trade is still modest. However, the trend towards growth is clear. Our trade has tripled. We continue to work in the humanitarian field. In particular, we continue to train specialists for Palestine. This year, 150 young Palestinians are studying and will study at universities and other educational institutions in Russia. We provided humanitarian aid, sending over 800 tons of cargo to the Gaza Strip, conducting about 32 humanitarian operations. We also sent wheat directly and through international organizations at your request. Naturally, today we will discuss the current situation in Gaza, Palestine as a whole, and the Israeli-Palestinian track. We will also talk about the U.S. President's initiatives regarding the creation of a new framework, which, as we see, is primarily focused on resolving the situation in Palestine, in the Gaza Strip. You may have heard that we are willing to allocate $1 billion to this new body, the Board of Peace, first and foremost, to support the Palestinian people, to use these funds to reconstruct the Gaza Strip and solve Palestine's issues. I have already said that these will come from the funds frozen in the United States back under the previous administration. I think this is quite possible. We have discussed such options with the U.S. administration before, and we are planning a meeting and talks on this topic in Moscow today. And Russia for us is the great friend we rely on in all fields. And here I mention that Russia historically stands by the Palestinian people at the political level and at the diplomatic level. As for the economic and financial aid, it is numerous and very numerous, and you have graciously mentioned some of it. But our people are very happy and very grateful to Russia for this assistance and for these positions you stand with us. We, Mr. President, suffer a great deal within the Palestinian land, and you know this through the abhorrent Israeli occupation, which carries out all kinds of destruction in the Gaza Strip, as well as in the West Bank and Jerusalem. I would like to give a number about the Gaza Strip, that even before a month, the number of dead and injured in the Gaza Strip reached 260,000 between killed and injured, in addition to thousands upon thousands killed and injured in the West Bank. And also in Gaza, there is massive destruction of the Gaza Strip, reaching about 85% of this sector of its institutions, schools, universities, homes, churches, mosques. Nothing remains. And yet I want to reassure you, Mr. President, that the Palestinian people are holding on to their land, rejecting outright the American-Israeli phrase that was announced about a year ago to displace Palestinians from Gaza and the West Bank abroad, where the Palestinian people stood and insisted that they would not leave their country no matter the cost. Therefore, the people of Gaza are now living in tents, and these tents are subject to rain and destruction and flooding. Yet they are determined to remain in their land. We will not leave it at all. What we want is peace, and this with your support and assistance. Peace based on international legitimacy, based on United Nations Resolutions 242, 238. These resolutions issued after the 67 and before 73 wars. We are committed to it, which grants us an independent Palestinian state in Gaza, the West Bank, and East Jerusalem as its capital. This means you are the first who helped, the first who supported, and the first who backed this political stance we advocate. Of course, there are many other issues that we must discuss with Your Excellency regarding the details of the situations, about our vision for the future, how we can see the solution. We have what to say, and always with your support and assistance, we hope to reach the solution. You have been our friends for more than 5 decades. And we visit this gracious country in all the occasions, in summer, winter, snow, etc. We got used to it, and we feel it is part of our spirit, part of our hearts. Therefore, when we come to Moscow, we feel we are at home with our beloved ones and friends. Thank you, Mr. President Putin. Thank you, Mr. President.
What was once off the table is now part of open diplomacy, frozen assets, $1 billion, and a peace initiative linking rivals at the highest level. The question is no longer whether this idea is real, but what price it may carry for global power, precedent, and peace.